Hey, what is going on guys? This is Tharshey and welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we're going to be having a look at the Metaphys archetype in YuGiOh Duel Links. So hope you guys do enjoy this video, and if you do, please do drop a like, comment and subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to turn on those post notifications. Anyway, let's get straight into it. Okay guys, so for those of you unfamiliar with Metaphys, the way it works is very simple. When your Metaphys monster is sent to the Banish zone, it will activate its effect and banish another Metaphys monster, or search a card out your deck, or special summon another monster. Whatever its effect is, it will activate it while in the Banish zone and then shuffle into the deck. And also, when a Metaphys monster is special summoned by the effect of another Metaphys monster to the field, then they can also activate their effects on field. So it's a very fun archetype to play, and it's very nice once you get a cycle going of banishing a monster, special summoning, banishing, special summoning, etc. Anyway, let's have a look at this deck, have a look at the core cards I run, have a look at the support cards you can run, as well as the amount of each cards you should run. So, to start it off, we have Metaphys Daedalus. Metaphys Daedalus, when banished, will banish another Metaphys monster from your deck to the Banish zone, which you can then activate their effect. When Metaphys Daedalus is special summoned to the field by the effect of another Metaphys monster, you can banish all special summoned monsters on the field, including your own, which can then activate their effects once again. So Metaphys Daedalus is very nice for nuking the field of any special summoned monsters, and is very nice in the Banish zone for then basically banishing one of your other two Metaphys monsters to activate their effects. Next up, we have Metaphys Nephthys. Metaphys Nephthys, when in the Banish zone, allows you to search any Metaphys card from your deck and add it to your hand, which is very nice. And when special summoned to the field by the effect of another Metaphys monster, it allows you to banish all set, spell, and trap cards on the field, which is really, really nice. This doesn't even affect you because all your spell or trap cards are always basically going to be face up. So you're going to be fine and you won't be affected by the effect. Next up, you have Metaphys Tyrant Dragon. Metaphys Tyrant Dragon, when banished, will allow you to special summon another Metaphys monster from your hand to the field. So this is very nice because when he's banished, you special summon one of your Metaphys monsters, aka one of your Nephthys or your Daedalus, and when they're on field, they obviously activate their effects. When Metaphys Tyrant Dragon, however, is special summoned to the field by the effect of another Metaphys monster, which could include a Tyrant Dragon, it allows you to attack twice in a row. So if your first attack is against a monster, you can attack a second time in a row. However, if your first attack is not against a monster, you do not get that second attack. So if your enemy does have a monster down, you special summon Tyrant Dragon with the effect of another Tyrant Dragon or the effect of another Metaphys monster, then he gets two attacks. You attack the monster, you kill it, do some damage, you attack again. It allows you to kill a person in one turn, depending on what monsters they have on field. Next up, we have a Lupine, another staple for a deck. When a Lupine is normal summoned to the field, it allows you to banish one monster from your hand and then another monster from your deck with the same type. AKA, you can banish one Metaphys monster from your hand, then you can banish one Metaphys monster from your deck, which is brilliant. It gets you two Metaphys monsters banished, which you can then activate their effects from the Banish zone. So definitely run a Lupine. Very nice card. Next up, we have Metaphys Decoy Dragon. Metaphys Decoy Dragon is a 2-star only, very negligible attack and defense stats, but that's not why you run him. You run Metaphys Decoy Dragon because, not of his pendulum effect, because of his normal monster effect. And basically, what he allows you to do is, if he's banished, he will special summon himself to the field. You can choose attack or defense position. So I would usually just go defense position, but it doesn't really matter because, and this is the big part of what makes Metaphys Decoy Dragon so important, is whenever your opponent declares an attack against one of your monsters, it doesn't even need to be a Metaphys monster. If your opponent declares an attack on one of your Lupines or any of your Metaphys monsters, Metaphys Decoy Dragon will banish itself, and then it will special summon one of your Metaphys monsters from your graveyard or your Banish zone to the field. And when your Metaphys monster is special summoned, it's being special summoned by the effect of another Metaphys monster, in this case Decoy Dragon, which then allows your Nephthys to nuke all set spells and traps, it allows your Tyrant Dragon 2 attacks in a row, and it allows your Daedalus to nuke the entire field of all special summon monsters. Decoy Dragon, very nice to have. Your enemy declares an attack, Decoy Dragon activates effect, banishes himself, special summons something from your Banish zone or from your graveyard, and normally, once a Metaphys monster goes to your graveyard, that's it. you know, he's out of the game, you're not going to be able to recover him anyway. Now, Decoy Dragon allows you to recover that banished, that Metaphys monster that is in your graveyard. So very, very nice card to have. Next up, you have Gold Sarcophagus. Not a requirement, because, I mean, it's a nice card to have, but you at one point you could also only get this by paying money. So Gold Sarcophagus, very nice card to include in your deck. If you do have it, definitely include it. If you don't, it's fine. You don't need to worry. But basically what Gold Sarc does is it banishes one card from your deck face up. If it's a monster, if it's one of your Metaphys monsters you're banishing, you can then obviously activate their effects, which is brilliant. And if it's not one of your Metaphys monsters, but instead one of your Metaphys spell or trap cards, then the second phase after this card's activation, the second standby phase, I should say, after this card's activation, you can add that to your hand. So that's very nice because it allows you to search out your Sim Metaphys, your Metaphys Dimension, basically any of your spell or trap cards or any of your monsters. So that is brilliant. You can also chain it with Metaphys Ascension to add a card to your hand immediately. Next up, you have a Sim Metaphys. The Sim Metaphys is extremely important. What it does is, once per turn, you can banish one Metaphys card from your hand, whether it's a spell card, a trap card. As long as it's a Metaphys card, you can banish a spell, trap, or monster, doesn't matter. It then allows you to draw one card. So you banish one card, you draw one card, and then if it's on your turn that you banished a Metaphys monster, all monsters on the field lose 500 attack and defense, except Metaphys monsters. So considering your whole deck is Metaphys monsters, basically besides Lupine, your enemy will lose 500 attack and defense once per turn on your turn if you banish a Metaphys monster. And if it's your opponent's turn that one of your monsters gets banished, it will change the battle position of all monsters they control. So if they have a whole bunch of monsters in attack position and one of your monsters is banished, it'll change it to defense. If it's all in defense and one of your monsters is banished, it'll change it to attack. The Sim Metaphys is an absolute staple. You need 3 copies of it because it allows you to basically just get your banish cycle up and running. Next up, we have Metaphys Factor. Metaphys Factor is a field spell, and it's a really good card. And on Duel Links meta, a lot of the Metaphys decks you'll see there do not run it, and I think that's a big mistake. You don't need to run multiple copies of it, just run one copy of it. You can then search out with Nefties at any point. So each turn you can normal summon one level 5 or higher Metaphys monster, and that is really nice. I mean, it doesn't activate their effects because they're not being special summoned by the effect of another Metaphys monster, but hey, you have a Tyrant Dragon in your hand, you can normal summon it using the effect of Metaphys Factor, you know, do some damage, and then he'll get banished afterwards because he gets banished during the end phase of the next turn. And the second part of this card, which makes it even more powerful, is your opponent cannot activate cards or effects in response to your Metaphys monster's effect activations. What this means is, if your Metaphys Factor is down on the field, and you bring out your Metaphys Daedalus or your Metaphys Nefties, their effects cannot be negated. Your opponent cannot activate any card or effect in response to the activation of your Daedalus or your Nefties effect. So absolutely crucial card to have. I don't understand why most decks don't run at least one copy. I mean, if it gets destroyed, fine. You could always run a second copy if you really wanted, but honestly, one copy of Metaphys Factor is fine. Next up, you have Metaphys Dimension. Continuous trap card, really great. You can run one copy. I would recommend running 2 copies simply in case you lose one copy. And what it does is, so if your opponent special summons a monster, it allows you to target one of your banished Metaphys monsters and special summon it, which is very nice to get a card on field. However, because you are special summoning that Metaphys monster, and it's not being summoned by another Metaphys monster, you cannot activate its effect. However, it's nice to just, special summon your Tyrant Dragon and have a 2900 attack monster on field. The second effect, and this is the, I would say, more important effect, is once per turn, if one of your cards gets banished, okay, one of your Metaphys monsters, or one of your Metaphys cards, I should say specifically, gets banished, you can target one card your opponent controls and banish it. Whether it's a face-down spell or trap, whether it's a monster, whether it's a field spell, doesn't matter. Even a pendulum scale. Any card your opponent controls, you can banish it. So once per turn, during either turn, if one of your Metaphys cards is banished, you can activate Dimension's effect and banish one card they control, and it's your choice. During the opponent's turn, if they special summon a monster, you can special summon one of your banished Metaphys monsters, which is, again, a pretty nice effect to have. Next up, you have Metaphys Ascension. Metaphys Ascension is a pretty solid card as well. Very good card. You discard one Metaphys card, which honestly, at first I didn't like. But you have to remember that if you discard one of the cards from your hand, and it's a monster card, so let's say you discard your Metaphys Daedalus, then if you have Decoy Dragon, you can always bring that back from the graveyard. So Metaphys Ascension is very nice. You discard one Metaphys card, then you draw one card, and then you banish one Metaphys monster from your deck. So basically, you get to set one card from your hand to your graveyard. You choose which Metaphys card it is, and with Decoy Dragon, that's fine because you can then obviously just bring it back to the field with Decoy's effect when he's attacked. You can then draw one card, which is great. You get one more card in hand, and you can then choose to banish one of your Metaphys monsters, which means you can banish a Tyrant Dragon, which sets you up for special summon. You can banish the Nephthys, which sets you up for searching something, or you can banish a Daedalus to then banish something else later on. Now, those are all your core cards. Next up, we're going to talk about the support cards. I guess Goldsock kind of counts as a support, but you have two main support cards that are very good complements to this deck. Number one is Soul Absorption. It's a continuous spell, and every time a card is banished, you gain 500 life points. So obviously, with your Metaphys deck, you're going to be banishing cards all day, all night, 24/7. So you're going to be gaining a ton of life points by having Soul Absorption. The next card you could have is Dimensional Fissure. Dimensional Fissure is any monster that is sent to the graveyard is banished instead. This is extremely helpful because it's a continuous spell. If you have it down on the field, any of your cards that would get sent to the graveyard, and if your monster cards get banished instead, which is brilliant. I mean, if it's not going to the graveyard, fine, that's fine. Banish it instead, activate its effects, you are gold. And this also affects the opponent. So if you're versing a deck that's gonna, send a whole bunch of their deck to the graveyard and a special summon from the graveyard or something, that entire deck becomes useless. Why? With Dimensional Fissure on the field, all those cards you would send to the graveyard get banished instead, and then they can't recover it. So very nice card to have. However, this is the important thing to note. You only have three spell or trap slots, and one is always going to go to a Sim Metaphys that you need to have on the field. One is going to go to Metaphys Dimension. Factor is fine, that takes your field spell slot, that's okay. So you only have one slot left, and you don't really need that for Ascension because you can just banish this with a Sim Metaphys. You do need it for a Goldsock, but it's fine even if you have Goldsock in hand and all your spells and stuff are full. But you can't run both Soul Absorption and Dimensional Fissure because you have two slots full with Dimension and a Sim Metaphys. So you only have one slot left. So you have to choose to either run Soul Absorption to then gain life points, or to run Dimensional Fissure to banish any monster instead of sending it to the graveyard. The number of them you want to run is up to you. I've decided to run only one of the one that I want to run, which in this case is Soul Absorption, though who knows, I may end up switching it out for Dimensional Fissure soon and running one Dimensional Fissure. I personally like to run one. I know it's not the most consistent way to get it, but you can always search it out with Metaphys Ascension, because you can draw one card, and it's any card of your choice, so you can always search it out with Metaphys Ascension if need be. Or you can run multiple copies of it, but it makes the deck slightly more liable to breaking. So I'm personally only going to run one Soul Absorption or Dimensional Fissure, but that's up to you. Anyway, for your deck breakdown, you should run 3 copies of Daedalus, Nephthys, and Tyrant Dragon. However, you can run 2 copies of each if you want, because as you can see, this is a 24 card deck. It's kind of big, so if you want, you can reduce the deck size by 3 by only running 2 Daedalus, 2 Nephthys, and 2 Tyrant Dragon. Next up, you're going to want to run 2 or 3 Aloof Lupine. 3 is fine. I'm running 2 for now, just because this is already a 24 card deck. Next up is Decoy Dragon. You can run 1 or 2 copies of him. I was running 1 for a while, but then I had a couple of matches where he got killed by a card effect, and then I was no longer able to, recover stuff from graveyards. So I'm running a second one just in case. Finally, you have your Gold Sarcophagus. I'm running 2 copies of it, though I could take it out if I wanted, because I don't really need to run them if I don't want to, but it's nice to have it, so I'm running both copies of it for now. Metaphys Ascension, you need to run 3 copies. Do not run under 3 copies of it, okay? It's a rare card only, so it's very easy to get, so run all 3 copies. For your support card, your Soul Absorption / Dimensional Fissure, that is up to you. I run 1, you can run 2, you can run 3. It is up to you. Metaphys Factor, you only really need to run 1. If you want to run 2 in case 1 gets destroyed, you can. Metaphys Dimension, I would say only run 1, but I'm running 2, and that is because you only need 1 on field, but if it gets destroyed, you do not want to go an entire duel without a Metaphys dimension. So run 2 just to play it safe. I know it makes the deck a bit bigger, but run 2, play it safe. If one gets destroyed, you can search out another one and add it to your deck. Metaphys Ascension, run as many as you have. I only have 2, so I'm running 2. If I get a third one, I will probably run the third one as well. Now, couple notes is the skill you're going to run is Grit. Do not run any other skill. Grit will save you. I have a replay to show you, and then I will hop into a match as well. And Grit saves me there because it does sometimes take a turn or two to get your Metaphys cycle up and running. And you are very vulnerable in that turn. Grit can save you from dying, okay? It can save you from dying in that one turn by, keeping you at that 1 HP. And you can also see I do have a slight extra deck here. I put in Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon simply because if I have 2 Aloof Lupins on field and their attack gets reduced too much by a Sim Metaphys, I can then, Xyz summon into Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon. So you don't need any extra deck, honestly, because you are never really going to use it, but I put it there just in case. Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon, honestly, don't know why I put him here. It's not important. I don't think I will ever use him. But yeah, let's go hop into the replay I have for you guys, and then we're going to hop into a live match. So yeah. Okay, guys, so we are going to watch this replay versus Mr. Nerd. And yeah, this is a pretty great replay, actually, because it proves why I needed a second Metaphys dimension, because I, lost one. And it also shows the flexibility and the use of Decoy Dragon. So, as you can see, I go first. Now, my hand is a pretty solid hand, so I activate Grit, he activates Blue Eyes Dimension, that's fine. Now, my hand is a pretty decent hand. I start with a Dimension, a Sim Metaphys Ascension, a Date, and a Tyrant. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set both of them. So that sets my Dimension to activate and my Ascension. I can't do anything else. And this also proves why Grit is such a brilliant skill, right? So he's going to do a whole bunch of stuff. And I would like to pause it here and say, considering this is a Blue Eyes deck, if I had a Dimensional Fissure and I had it down, him trying to send these cards to Graveyard, completely negated. They would get banished instead. His entire deck would basically be dead. He wouldn't be able to do much of anything. But yeah, as you can see, I then activate my Metaphys Ascension. I'm going to activate his effect. I'm going to send a Daedalus to grave. And the reason I'm doing that is because by sending it to grave, later on I can then summon it back with a Decoy Dragon if need be. I pull one card, right, with Ascension's effect. So I pulled a Metaphys Factor. That was my random draw. And then I banished one card, and I chose to banish the Nefties, so I can then search one card that I want and bring it over to my hand. He activates his Dragon Spirit of White's effect, which kills my Dimension. As you can see, I would not want to go the rest of the show without a Dimension, so luckily we do have a second Dimension in the deck. Now he's going to do that. Yep, that's fine. Let's just speed this up. Okay, now as you can see, he brings out his Blue Eyes Alternative White Dragon and Dragon Spirit of White, and I have nothing on field. I would be dead, but we have Grit. So there we go. Grit saves us. We're perfect. We use our Nefty's effect. So we use Nefty's effect over there, guys. We added Decoy Dragon to hand. We drew, our normal draw was an Sim Metaphys. If we hadn't drawn a Sim Metaphys, I would have searched for an Sim Metaphys with Nefty's instead. Because we pulled the Sim Metaphys, I pulled Decoy Dragon instead. So we're going to activate a Sim Metaphys' effect. We're going to activate Metaphys Factor's effect. And we're going to normal summon our Decoy Dragon to field. Let me slow this down, actually. Okay, so we use Tyrant Dragon's effect, shuffle them into deck, special summon Daedalus. When we special summon Daedalus, we activated his effect, and we nuked the field of all special summon monsters, which was both his Dragon Spirit of White and his Blue Eyes Alternative White Dragon. Now over here, what happens is, as you can see, he declared an attack with Blue Eyes White Dragon. He attacked one of my monsters, which allows me to activate Decoy's effect. Decoy banished himself, and he special summoned my Daedalus from the graveyard. And then we're going to activate Daedalus' effect and nuke the field of any special summon monsters, including my own Daedalus. There we go. Perfect. So we banished his Blue Eyes, we banished my Daedalus, and he couldn't attack with Blue Eyes White Dragon because Metaphys Factors effect activated. You know, when one of your Metaphys monsters is banished on the opponent's turn, change battle positions of all monsters except Metaphys monsters. So his blue eyes got changed to defense position. Now we're going to activate our own effects. So first of all, we drew a gold sock. We activated Metaphys Daedalus' effect, who got banished by our own Dade from last round. And we're going to then activate his effect and banish a Nephthys to search for something else. We're going to bring back Decoy Dragon onto the field. We're going to activate Gold Sock. And we're going to banish another Nephthys so we have more searching power. We're going to activate our battle phase and we're going to attack with Daedalus. Destroy that card. Perfect. Now, next up, he is going to try to do some shenanigans again, but obviously we are pretty well set up here. Activate Nephthys effect, search our second dimension, so we can then add it next turn onto the field. Brilliant. We're going to add our second, play our second Nephthys. We're going to add a Daedalus to our hand. Now, there we go. So he's going to, yeah, he's going to bring out another Blue Eyes pretty soon. So let me actually speed this up. There we go. He brings out another Blue Eyes. He activates his effect and he banishes or destroys my Daedalus. Very bad idea. He's going to target my Decoy Dragon for an attack. He still hasn't learned. He hasn't read his effect. He hasn't learned. He attacks him. We activate his effect. We banish him. We special summon our Daedalus out of the graveyard. We then activate our Daedalus' effect. And we nuke the field of all special summon monsters. So, bye-bye. There we go. We banished the alternative white dragon. And he was, this dragon, the Blue Eyes, was normal summoned. But he still had his position changed thanks to Metaphys Factor. I mean, some Metaphys. Now we normal summoned over here, right? We normal summoned Tyrant Dragon from our hand using Metaphys Factor's effect. And we have two monsters on, so we attacked with Daedalus, we attacked with Tyrant Dragon, get some good damage in. That's brilliant. Now, what is he going to do? Oh, yes. Boom. We finally get our Metaphys Dimension activated. So now the Dimension is set and we can start popping his effect whenever we banish one of our monsters. So that's pretty nice. I draw, I summon Lupine. Just to play it safe, I banish a Nephthys and a Daedalus, so we have some stuff set up for next turn if we need be. We attack, he can't do anything, and that is game. So there we go. Boom. That's the end, and that was a nice, easy win for us. We didn't have the best starting hand, but we had a pretty solid starting hand, so we were able to make it work out pretty well for ourselves. Now, let's go into our live ranked match and see how we do. Okay, so let's go see. Hopefully we don't fight somebody who is going to destroy us. And hopefully we get a good hand. But hey, it's fine. Every deck has its weakness, including Metaphys. I just really enjoy it. It's a very fun deck type to play. Okay. Loomis and Umbra. Okay, cool. We have our Jade and Yubel. We have our Grit. And we're going fast. Okay, I do like going second, actually. Because then he's already got stuff on field fast to banish. Okay, not... This is a... Oof, this is not a great hand. It's fine, we're just going to have to rely on... we're going to have to rely on our... What's it called? On our Metaphys Ascensions here, as well as our Grit. So Grit's going to have to keep us alive first round. And then we're going to have to activate Ascension to start pooling cards that we want. It's fine though, we'll be okay. Especially since we have double Ascension, so we can discard one Ascension with the other Ascension's effect and just search a bunch of cards. So we should be okay. Interesting card sleeves. Is that a goat? Is he trying to say that he is the goat? Because it's not going to matter. Okay, there we go. He's about to end his turn? Well, damn. We are not going to let you do that. We need to play our turn on your turn, thank you. Okay, there we go. We're going to discard this. Banish another card, yes. We're going to banish Nephthys to search for a card that we want. Okay, boom. Soul Absorption starts occurring. 500 HP. Perfect. Now we're going to draw. Got an Asim. And we are set. We're going to be able to start doing some good damage. Okay, activate Nephthys. That's fine. With Nephthys effect, we're going to search a dimension. because getting dimension down on field is very, very important. More important than having factor, to be honest. What's he doing? Okay, not doing anything. That's fine. There we go. That's my sim Metaphys down. Come on. There we go. We're going to set dimension. Activate him as soon as we can. Get him face up. But now we're going to do this. If our dimension was face up right now and we are banishing our card, it would activate dimension second effect and allow us to choose one card apiece to banish, which would be whatever set spell or trap he has over there. But in the meantime, it's fine because Soul Absorption is just going to pop again. So there's some more life points for us. We have 5k life points. We're not going to bring anything down on field yet, but that's fine because we've gotten our cycle starting. Okay, what does he have? Okay, it's just this. He's going to add a Nordic monster to his hand. That's fine. Okay, now he's going to play. We're going to do that. Perfect. I'm going to activate Tyrant Dragon. Unfortunately, he doesn't have anything on field yet because we're playing it before his thing. So we're going to bring our second Tyrant Dragon on field instead of our Daedalus. Daedalus we're going to keep till we need to nuke the field. Okay, but we do have a 2900 HP monster on field now. Oh, HP, I mean attack monster on field now. That gives us some protection. And we do have 5k HP as well, so that gives us some more protection, which is brilliant. Ooh, we banished a bunch of stuff. Okay, get some tokens. He's going to synchro summon. But we do get another 1000 life points, guys, because he banished 2 cards, so that gives us more HP. Brilliant. Yep, there we go, he's going to synchro. Odin, Father of the Aesir. Ooh, that's nice. It's unaffected by spell or trap cards until the end of this turn. Ooh, okay, so he may be immune to our dimension. Okay, he killed us, that's fine. We're okay still. In FTs? Ooh, okay, that's fine. Now, we can banish Dade, and then from using Dade's effect, we can banish Tyrant, and then summon Nephthys and clear the back row. Or we can summon banish Nephthys, add in whatever we want to our hand. I'm gonna go with the Dade banish for now. Fine. Okay, now we're gonna get a free banish, but once per turn. Yeah. I'm not sure. I think he will be immune to dimension, right? So I should rather banish this. I'm not sure. Let me try. Let me see if I can banish this. If I can't, then we know. It's fine. Oh, we can. Okay, cool. We're good. There we go. He surrendered. Easy win, guys. Look at that. We're sitting at nearly 6000 HP. We banished his boss monster. Every time he banished one of his monsters, we gain life points. Every time we banish something, we gain life points. And yeah, opponent surrendered. And that was a GG. So, ooh, do I actually level up to the next rank? Or do I need one more win? Oh, we need one more win. Okay, that's fine. But I hope you guys did enjoy the video. And if you did, please do drop a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you guys think of my Metaphys deck build. Let me know if you guys have played Metaphys before, how you like it. If you've played against it, how annoying it is to play against. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. YuGiOh.